How many years have you done the Eggs to Fry program?
This is just the second year.
What's your experience been like so far?
Really good, actually. I mean, I didn't know anything going into it, but it is pretty easy once you do it. Like this year, I'm feeling much more confident of using it and not being worried about messing it all up, and it was a really good experience. So.
This is Leroy Schultz. He is with the Northwest Steelheaders Association, and he has come here today to talk with us about the Egg to Fry program.
As your instructor told you, I'm a member of the Northwest Steelheaders group, and we work with the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife to provide fish tanks, chiller units, as well as to help provide the salmon eggs that are going to be placed into your tank. And it's a project in which you will be following through, doing a lot of work as far as testing the water, keeping the temperature correct, and so on. There are three things in life. A question I have for you is, there are three things that we need for life every day. Can someone help tell me what one of those might be?
Food, energy,
okay.
Energy source to fill up your belly.
Exactly. Food and shelter. You are going to be providing all of those things for these eggs. One, fortunately, they bring their own food with them. They have a yolk that will be under their belly, and that will provide the food for them. We're not allowed to provide food for them as they grow. Water, fresh water, like you have back in your tank back here. It's cold water, salmon-like water temperatures from 48 to 54 degrees, and you're going to be providing that. Clean water. You're going to be testing it, checking it, making sure it's clean, much like our streams here in the Pacific Northwest. It's really vital for their life. And shelter. Salmon in the wild, when they go to lay their eggs, will dig a hole. The female will dig a hole with her tail and create a small spot in the riverbed. It's called a redd. And there they'll deliver the eggs. So she'll spawn those. And then they'll be covered up, and the eggs will remain in the dark, under cover, until they hatch, and then they become what is known as alevins, and then they will work their way out when they are ready. And once they become fry stage, they'll begin looking for food. We happen to have with us today a packet of eggs, and there are several bottles here, and they show those different stages that you'll be able to see as the time goes on, and how your eggs will mature. And each of these are individually marked, so you can see exactly what stage your eggs are going through. When yours get to the final stage, the fry stage, or the button-up stage we call it, then they'll be ready to be released. And that should take you all the way up to just before winter break. One of the things I want to do is I want to be able to share with you these little guys before we put them into the tank. In doing so, I'll come around to each table group and hold them so you can see them. Some of them they are in the eyed up stage, and you will see two little black spots that look like pepper spots on those. Those are the eyes of the eggs. In dealing with these, we talk about temperature units or thermal units. When these reach a stage of about 850 to 900 temperature units, they will hatch. As they'll stream out, they're kind of buoyant, neutral, so they'll float down, and as the current in the water carries them about, they'll go into some of the low places. They'll move around under rocks because any movement of the water will allow them to roll. Generally, the minimum is 200 with a 20-gallon tank, and with a 30 to 40-gallon tank, we will put 500 eggs in. So you're going to have the responsibility for a lot of those little fish. Yes, ma'am?
When they're this young, is it easy for them to die very easily?
Yes, there are things. That's why you will be keeping a track on the water, making sure that the temperature is good, because they like 48 to 54 degrees really well. If it gets too hot, then we see mortality take place. If the water becomes too alkaline or there's too much acid in it, that also will cause fatalities. So that's going to be one of your jobs, is to watch and keep a record on that as well in your daily tracking chart that you have. And if there are some that die, they will turn white in the water, totally white. And then you'll go in and remove those so that they don't cause any bacteria to form on others. Presently, we have them in the open. In the past, we've covered up the tanks to keep the ultraviolet light off, but now we're getting more and more to the place where we are not having to cover them. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave them open, and we'll go from there. And you guys will be able to observe them and check your water temperatures every day. So.
What do your students learn from the program?
Well, one of them I think is, as funny as this may seem, is maybe empathy or compassion, you know, not to go in and smash the egg, because I remember one situation where the egg, one of the students, you know, dropped it from the hand to like, you know, the top of this, and you know, they were scared about that. So that was kind of neat from that side of angle, with obviously the science aspects of what it takes and what you need for an egg to go from that stage all the way up to where they're a fry, and then up into an older fish, an older specimen. That there's a lot, and there's a lot of work involved with that, and a lot of things in nature that is needed for that.
What have been the response from your students who have participated in the program last year and then so far this year?
I think overall they've enjoyed it. So I've gotten good remarks about it. Some wondered, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? But afterward, they had good comments about it. So.
Okay. What do you think of Leroy's presentation, having a volunteer come in here and help?
I think it was great, and the students listen a little better because, see, they don't know him, and you know, he brings in more of expertise, I would say, and so I think they really enjoyed it. I loved it.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything you'd like people to know?
Just it's a program that I think would be really beneficial for the students and for the schools to be involved with, and it's overall just a good thing. Thank you.
Okay. Are you looking forward to seeing them grow and releasing them?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.